Howdy again, it's Mr. Pete, your interweb shop teacher. Welcome to beautiful Studio B. Howdy again, it's Mr. Pete, your YouTube shop teacher. Welcome back to my dungeon here. Now, quite a few people, actually less than 10,000, watch these indicator videos, but a little bit of an update on this one, and I want to talk about some other bases here, magnetic, that I probably have not covered before, and a really neat one. I only have pictures of it. I've never seen one before until yesterday when I had a visitor, Bill. Thank you for that. He's from Western Illinois, a follower for many years. I met him before and we had a nice, almost a 3-hour conversation, him and his darling wife, Linda. So thanks for that, Bill. All right, let's talk about this first. First of all, thank you to the person that identified this as a Brown and Sharpe, and I will prove that in a minute with some pictures. Someone also said it's the same as an Eclipse made in England. I'm sorry, Great Britain, United Kingdom, I don't know what they call it this year, but quite a few guys from the Isles over there do watch my videos. Thanks for that. And of course, people immediately criticize that I got the blue plate on crooked and why didn't I engrave it? You know, it's never quite enough for some people. My gosh, I'll give you a refund. What do I owe you? How much? I'll give you the $10 that you... No, that's right, it was free. Okay, so Eclipse may be in cahoots with Brown and Sharpe. I don't know. Maybe Eclipse doesn't even exist anymore, but they were quality tools. I've had a few over the years. So that aside, I also was greatly criticized for being a hammer and chisel mechanic because, yes, I held this in a vise, I pounded on it, I beat on it, I chiseled on it. I didn't care because my original intention was to instantly throw this away after the video was over. But then it occurred to me sometime during the video to make a restoration, which I did, and it works better, actually, than at this time than the Starrett, if that's possible. So I did a little research, and you know, that takes so much time. That's why I haven't put out many videos. It's just there's a lot of work involved behind the scenes that you may not be aware of. This is from the 60s, this catalog, I believe, and let me find that page with indicator bases. So right there it is, Brown and Sharpe Magnicator, they call it, 7746. There's a picture that pretty well matches up. And, oh boy, they got prices on there, but it's, without the indicator, it's only $21. And there's information if anybody wants to read that. Pause your video. I will have some still pictures of that at the end. Now, what am I going to do with this, you ask? You got a million of them. Well, I made this post to be 1/2 inch. Now, the only reason I did that is that's what the old one was. But looking through my other indicator bases, none of them are 1/2 inch. And as far as I know, I don't have any indicators that actually fit on this. Well, it would be fairly easy to make a new one, but let me show you what I intend to use this for and dedicate it to. So here I am at the Bridgeport mill, and when I use the coaxial indicator, and you have seen me use it in various videos, if you turn the machine on, this is going to spin around, so it has to be held. Sometimes on a smaller machine, this rod here will strike the column, but I like to use an indicator base someplace on the table like that. Doesn't matter, so that when you turn the machine on, I'll back that off a little bit. You see what it's doing? So I will dedicate it to that purpose. And yes, I had to remove rivets. And there isn't any real good way to do that. I could have ground them off and perhaps should, but I'm trying to keep the pace moving along. This type of chisel, cold chisel, and I have dozens, scores of them, it doesn't really lend itself well to knock little rivets like that off. And that is why I used and chipped a fairly good Stanley wood chisel. It's more acute in the angle so it can get in there. That's why I did that, and I don't really care because I can resharpen this, plus I have scores of these. And I have noticed that many indicator bases that are made overseas are just a sticker now rather than using rivets, but of course I turned this into a sticker if you want to know the truth. Now don't hang up. I've got a couple neat things to show you, even beyond what I'm showing you right here. So there's several different kinds of magnets, and we've talked about these before. This one, the magnet rotates, it turns on and off. And of course, I already talked about this with the push button. And the thing we like about this is it's one-handed. So that's really handy. But there's a third kind that I've had since time immemorial. I don't really like it that well, and I don't remember why, but it's a Enco Tiny Titan, and it works by a totally different method. You can't turn the magnetism off, which means it attracts chips, and that is annoying as heck. But when you put it on your plate, you know, it's a good strong magnet, and then in order to get it off, you turn this, and it literally lifts itself or pushes itself off of the metal, or does it. Look at that. That's why I hate it. But look at the action here. Do you understand that? Maybe there's an adjustment here. Let me take that little screw out off camera and I'll be right back. Well, it's 3 hours late and my knees are sore. And you're thinking, what'd you do, take a nap? No. I took this set screw out, and you know, there's only about a quarter of a turn of engagement, and then there was a little ball, and it fell out onto the floor, and that's where the 3 hours came in. Finally, when I did find it among the chips and the debris, and now I just mic'd it. It's exactly 1/8 of an inch diameter in case I lose this one. I got a whole drawer of balls. But anyway, you can see that the action here is, I don't know what we call this, but it's almost like a rounded thread, and the ball is pushed in there. There's no spring, it's just the set screw against that. Well, I thought that I could move it up or down one way. Boy, I can drag a video on, can I? So let me put it back together now, and I don't think I made any difference. I don't think I corrected anything. Well, there's really only one position, and I've got this about as tight as I dare make it, and we still got this slop in here, backlash, and I don't believe it's any better at all. And now I'm in a bad mood on top of it. Strong magnet, but you know, that just doesn't get it off. So here's the way you use this. You get yourself, after you've used your indicator and you got everything set up, you pry it off. So that's how these are made. What a piece of junk. Let's move on, I'm mad. When my friend Bill was here yesterday, he showed me an indicator base that he bought at a garage sale for only $5. It was all corroded. He had to work on it a little bit. So I took some footage of that. And it's called an ANYFORM, and it can adapt itself to different contours, curves and things like that. And since I do not have one here to show you, I took a little footage of that yesterday, and I'm going to put a still picture of that on and then show you the real short clip of where he puts it on to my Colombian vise. I think it's, no, my Wilton vise, because I was out in the Studio G, and show you how that works. So it's very unique. And then I thought, well, I've never seen one of these before, it must be an antique, but in fact I was able to locate it on the internet, and I'll show you a still picture of that. You can still buy them, and they're about they're pretty expensive, I forgot, but I'll show you that right now, and then we'll go to those clips. You'll like this. This is a very unusual magnetic indicator holder. I've never seen one like it. I'll take another close-up of that. But the unique thing here, you cannot turn the magnet off, but look at these segments here, or whatever you might call them, and this can be set at an angle. Now, we got it on the vise here, and Bill, if you would make different positions with it, we will find that very interesting. So you can set it at any angle that you want. So now we're on a curved surface? Yeah. Isn't that neat? Look at that. Wow. I've never seen anything like that. And there's the name, and it's made in USA. Wow. Okay, here it is. I just did a Google on my tablet here, and it's sold under the Fowler name, but it also will be sold under the name ANYFORM that you see right there, and I can see it's about $125. And this is not a good picture at all, but it looks like little laminations. Let me see if I can find a little bit better picture than that. And here it is on Zorro, $117 with an indicator. And oh, these are horrible. Don't ever get one of those flexible arms. You will absolutely. Designed by a madman. But that's still a terrible picture. And now I rotated. Oh, forget that. We're going to move to that clip right now. You cannot turn the magnetism off. That's one bad thing about this, but the little knob there simply allows those laminations to assume the contour of what you want to attach it to. Well, how did you like that? Pretty neat. But it reminded me here of these peat blocks that I made some years ago, and there's a video, I'll show you that in just a minute. And these are riser blocks that I use for milling machine setups for the clamps. Quite a few people watch that. Go back and watch this video of how I made these and how these are used if you want. And right now I'll go to a video here, not a video, just a title so you can see the title and search for it if you're in the mood. Okay, there's the title of the video if you're interested. Making a pair of peat blocks. Quite a few people have actually watched that. Okay, that's the end of the video, but let's have a little extra credit here if you can take it. So you might remember in the past that I had a South Bend 10-inch heavy. I got lonesome for it. I went out to my buddies about 5 miles away. Well, that's quite a while ago because it was still cold. And I visited that South Bend lathe. So I'll cut to some still pictures and a short video clip of that. And then that truly is the end of this video. This is Mr. Pete saying so long for now. I'm here at my friend John's house, and my purpose is to visit my old South Bend 10-inch lathe. And there it is, all hooked up and ready to use. I got kind of sentimental and I wanted to have a look at it, but John made some improvements since I've been here last, and look what he bought. Yes, a beautiful Bridgeport J-head. You'll get a lot of use out of that. And this machine was purchased at Lost Creek Machinery about 6 months ago from our good friends, the Krugs, who gave them a very good price and a lot of help delivering and setting it up.